Ground law after a man shot and killed his teenage son in Jacksonville and then claimed self-defense. Police say Michael Dunn of Brevard County shot and killed Jordan Davis at a Jacksonville gas station when the teenagers would not turn down the music inside their car. Police say Dunn later told detectives that he saw a shotgun in the car and he fired shots at the teenagers because he was feeling threatened. Well, now Jordan's father, Ron Davis, wants the Stand Your Ground law repealed in Florida. He says it's too easy to shoot someone in the heat of the moment and then claim that you felt you were in danger.
Today on the shooting of Kimani Gray, and we now know that the teenager was shot 7 times. Eyewitness News reporter NJ Burkett is live with more on that and another protest that is planned for tonight, right, NJ?
And that's right, Diana, outside the scene of the shooting where, yes, another protest is planned for tonight. Now, over the past 48 hours, Diana, several neighbors have come forward to contradict the police version of events. One of them is a 26-year-old woman who says she lives in that brick apartment building with the fire escapes and claims she witnessed the shooting from 4 doors down the street.
His hands was up and he was telling them, please stop, please stop.
Camille Johnson says she watched it happen, that she heard shouting in the street, went to her window and witnessed the shooting.
He didn't have a gun, he had his hands up. The only thing they probably found suspicious was him pulling up his pants, because you know the young boys wear their pants below their waist. He was playing with his pants, probably trying to pull it up. If he had a gun on him, which I doubt he had a gun on him, he didn't pull it out.
Her account is fundamentally different from that of the 2 officers, who said they opened fire after Kimani Gray pulled this loaded .38 caliber revolver from his waistband. Gray was struck 7 times, behind his left shoulder, his left thigh, and right thigh. Twice in his right front thigh, his left rib cage, and left arm. Ms. Johnson says she had attended a baby shower with Kimani Gray in the hours before the shooting. Her story is similar to that of another neighbor, Tashana King.
I want to tell you that there is a police shooting case that is garnering a lot of attention on social media, and I'm not talking about the Trayvon Martin case. It is a curious case of Howard Morgan, a former Chicago police officer, 8 years on the force. But during a traffic stop in 2005, members of the same department he worked for shot him 28 times after saying he pulled a weapon on them first. He survived, and this week Howard Morgan was sentenced to 40 years for attempted murder and discharging a firearm at a police officer. His wife Rosalind is here live. In court, they did say that your husband pulled a weapon first and shot at a police officer. He got 40 years. There are many, I guess especially those in the police department, who say, hey, your husband got what he deserved, not to be shot, but to be found guilty.
I don't believe that, because my husband is not guilty. My husband would not pull a weapon. He's been a police officer for over 21 years. He loved being a police officer to serve and protect the communities and society. Now ask yourself, why would my husband, 1 block from our home, literally around the corner from our home in the Lawndale area, pull his weapon after being a policeman for over 21 years in law enforcement? Why would he just pull his weapon out and shoot 3 police officers? And he's a policeman himself. That's ludicrous. I'll never believe that. And anyone that would know my husband would never believe it themselves.
And now to California, where a bombshell report from the Center of Investigative Reporting shows that doctors in the state's prison system were sterilizing prisoners as recently as 2010 without the necessary state approvals. From 2006 to 2010, 148 women received a procedure called tubal ligation, which prevents a woman from having any more children. All of these occurred at 2 California prisons, the California Institution for Women in Corona and the Valley State Prison for Women in Coachella. This was in direct violation of prison rules. Many of the women who underwent the procedure did so after having a child in prison. Now, the doctors in that prison system defended their use of the procedure, but former prisoners and advocacy groups are calling the sterilization coercive and reminiscent of eugenics.
She walks down the jail hallway in handcuffs. Marissa Alexander is facing 20 years behind bars, convicted of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. She says she was defending herself, standing her ground from a husband who had been arrested before on charges of abusing her.
He was arrested for doing what to you?
He choked me, he pushed me forcefully into the tub,
He pushed me so hard into the closet that I hit my head against the wall and I kind of passed out for a second.
Her husband received probation after that incident. Months later, Alexander says she was in the bathroom at their home here in Jacksonville, Florida, when her husband started pounding on the door. She says he was in a jealous rage over text messages on her cell phone.
He managed to get the door open, and that's when he strangled me. He put his hands around my neck.
Alexander got away from her husband and then made a fateful decision. She could have run out the front door and escaped. Instead, she ran into the garage, but says she did not have her car keys and the garage door was stuck. So instead, she grabbed her gun she kept in this garage.
And what did you think you were going to do with it?
I thought that I was going to have to protect myself.
Were you thinking you might have to shoot him?
Yeah, I did. If it came to that. He saw my weapon at my side, and when he saw it, he was even more upset, and that's when he threatened to kill me.
But how is he going to kill you if you're the one with the gun?
I agree. I thought it was crazy too.
But why didn't you run out the door at that point?
There was no other way to get out the door. He was right there threatening to kill me.
What if you would have gone around him to go out the door? Your life would have been easier today if you did that.
Yeah, but the law states I don't have to.
The law she's talking about is the controversial stand your ground law. Instead of running, she did what she thought was allowed by law. She believed she stood her ground.
The other groups, they protect their heroes. Zimmerman is a hero, so they're going to protect him financially, and they're going to make sure he's straight. Black folks, we're the ones who leave our leaders out there to be killed. We let our leaders get shot up and fucked up, and we have coon Negroes who assist in doing that. We let our leaders die broke when they fight for us. That's why nobody's signing up for that shit. Whenever black folks talk about this case in the media or talk about it even online, you notice the first thing people say when we say, hey, this is a racial thing. Well, black on black crime in Chicago. Blacks kill other blacks. Y'all know y'all keep hearing that? Y'all notice you keep hearing that. We keep hearing this deflection argument. Well, Zimmerman targeted Trayvon because of his racial program. No. Blacks kill other blacks. Look at Chicago. 500 murders in Chicago. Blacks kill other blacks. Blacks kill blacks. Black on black crime. Black on black crime. We keep hearing that over and over again. We hear it on all the television networks. Are you noticing that? Follow me on this. I want you to walk with me in my journey. Walk with me. They're not doing that just as far as rhetoric. That ain't just rhetoric. See, that's another thing. We think that this is just rhetoric. There's a rhyme and reason for all the shit they do. That's the smoke screen and all the media channels. And you say somebody, when blacks do it, again, coons do it to get in good graces with whites. When they start saying that, you get a few black folks who say that stupid shit because they want a pat on the head. Ignore them niggas. Coons are some of the biggest parrots out there. Coons are pets. And it's always these niggas who are looking for a job or niggas want to maintain their job, repeating the same rhetoric that people on the top are saying. So ignore them coons. They're pawns. They're pawns. That's a deflection. That's a goddamn deflection. I posted up a link today, first of all, for black folks to understand this. There's no such thing as black on black crime because black people kill each other the same rate as white people. White people kill each other at the same exact rate. 90% of black people are killed by other blacks. 90% of whites are killed by other whites. So why the fuck is it black on black crime and it's the same crime rate? The same exact crime rate. Let's not get it twisted. Do you understand that?
Big Fat Rat, West Side, Gardena Payback, Crip. Well, it's like this. I'm here. You heard my homeboys give it up. They anybody killers right now. But I'm trying to talk peace to them, you know what I'm saying, on the black race. We need to get this black thing together. You know what I'm saying? We got too much bullshit going on. And we here giving it up about our homeboys rest in peace. And I'm sure everybody else got homeboys rest in peace. So we need to put that shit aside. Squash that shit, you know what I'm saying? And get together, unite, you know what I'm saying? Because there's other races out there. I don't want to name no races because that might mess something up. There's other races out there that's trying to put an end to us, period. Trying to take over the whole thing, the nation, everything. Heard them say, cause like I said, I'm in the hood every day trying to preach this peace. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to preach this peace for the very simple fact that the same brothers we catching in the park slipping, the same brothers we catching on Imperial slipping or whatever street we may catch them slipping on, we gon' eventually be fighting back to back with my back against his. I can't be trying to stick him and shoot this man at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So my message to y'all and my message to all my homeboys, whether they be little, baby, OGs, G's, or what, y'all need to come together and let's do this against this other race, man, because it's finna be like that.
Transition to do positive things and to, you know, try to alleviate a lot of the bullshit that's going on out here in the streets with these youngsters that ain't knowing. You know, they don't know that these white folks got a place for them for the rest of their life. They might not never even see their neighbor and be in the penitentiary 5-10 years and never even see the person next to them in the next cell, because they got places for them with these drive-bys, automatic weapons, everything that's going on out here, the dope, you know. They want to give us all day for catching 2 or 3 ounces hard, and you know what I'm saying, they catch John DeLorean with 100 keys in the camera, give him a smack on the hand so you see what's going on. So you got to, you know what I mean, peep game and just, you know, stay above water, you know what I'm saying. And my thing be like this. People want to be gangsters, they want to put work in, want to do this, but you could go around the corner and just shoot up 3 or 4 black men. The sheriffs get behind you. You got 2 AKs in the car, 4 Tech 9s, you know what I'm saying, 10 pistols, and they tell you to freeze your stop. You understand? They only 2 individuals with 2 guns. You just went and shot 4 or 5 blacks up, but you freeze when they tell you. I'm saying if you're a gangster, sell the ranch, grandma, grandpa, the chickens, everything. If you're going out with bullets and gun smoke, don't just stop with yours. You understand me? Deal with it on that level if that's what you're doing. If you're not, get out the way. Let somebody else that is. Quit perpetrating.
You can. What's up? Basically, you know, they set it up. I mean, the dead never return. You never see them again. So you got to keep them, you know, as a memory. It's a lot of, you know, as far as the gang violence that go on, the black-on-black crime that's going on in every inner city in America. You know, we just victims, you know what I'm saying? We products of already corrupt society or environment, you know what I'm saying? You know, people like to attack the symptoms, you know what I'm saying, rather than going to the root of the disease, which is, you know, the system that we was born into. You know, we not Americans, you know. We victims of, like Malcolm X said, of Americanism. So we've been robbed, you know what I'm saying? We're people who've been robbed of our knowledge, you know what I'm saying, of our self-respect, of our manhood, you know what I'm saying? So we've been geared for self-destruction. So that's why you got the gang violence. You know, it's hard to respect another man because, you know, you don't feel like he deserves respect, you know, if he's black, because we've been programmed to hate anything black and to love everything white, you know what I'm saying?
These assholes, they always get away.